This week on Getting Up to Speed is a series of special interviews covering the life of Morrie Williams as well as Williams Motorsports. We got a chance to talk with several personalities, a lot of drivers, as well as longtime crew chief Ashley Smith of some of their best memories and stories about Morrie. And so this week is dedicated to that great person whom we will be honoring in September 30th at King Speedway, powered by Keller Motors in Hanford, California on Saturday night. In this latest episode of the Morrie Williams Memorial Tribute Podcast Series, we talked with Bud Kaeding. Bud Kaeding was the driver of the Williams Motorsports number 0 from 2014 to 2019, and in 2017 won the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series Championship for Morrie Williams. In this interview, he talks about the process of coming on board and being the driver, as well as life with Morrie off the racetrack and on the racetrack, and some other fun stories. That's coming up next after these messages. Dave's Home Supply specializes in cabinets, flooring, and countertops. Visit their website at daveshomesupply.com to look at products, services, financing, and even a free estimate. Are you looking for bookkeeping, payroll, or income tax services? Then check out the folks at For You Simple Bookkeeping. They are a licensed tax preparer throughout the entire United States. For more information, click on the link in the description. This broadcast is brought to you by Meat Freaks Jerky Club. Get the best jerky the world has to offer straight to your door by visiting meatfreaksjerkyclub.com. Pick your box and plan, tell them where to ship, and receive and enjoy. Log on to meatfreaksjerky.com and use promo code SPEED. Well, Bud Kaeding, you were definitely a successful driver, driving the famed Morrie and Katie Williams number 0 team. And how do you remember getting that phone call of getting the call up to fill in that seat?
It was actually a long process that went on with it. I heard some rumors that Jonathan was moving on with another team at the time, and called Ashley Smith. And he actually had no clue what I was talking about, and then a few weeks and actually even a few months had went past, and Jonathan had came through and moved on, and then they were searching for a driver, and I was fortunate enough that I had my foot in the door first there. There were several guys trying to get into Morrie and Katie's car, and I don't know, early December, me and Ashley kind of got on the phone and put a few things together, and I guess you could say the rest is history. So I don't know, it was obviously a car pretty synonymous out here in California, and has always been fast no matter who's driven it. And, I've known Morrie and Katie for a long time just around the track, but once we started racing together, they just kind of, right off the bat, just became family, brought me, my wife, and my daughter, and everybody, just kind of hit it off with everybody real good. Everyone meshed well there together. I don't know, I guess I wish I was still there. They're great people to be a part of and to race with and be friends with. And just, my relationship with Katie extends a lot further than just the races. So, I don't know, a lot of goods came out of it. So very fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunity to race for them.
And when you say December, was that December 2013, and then you started running from in 2014 season, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then you, as you said, you guys were fast out of the bat. I know that you guys won Trophy Cup together. Obviously, getting the NARC 410 King of the West Championship was big, and you guys got some other big wins too.
Yeah, we won quite a few races. Won, like I said, Trophy Cup. I don't know how many times. I think every time we finished second in the points, other than the one year we won the title with NARC. And then, I won my grandfather's race twice, the Bradway, the Champions Night at Stockton, which is actually my last win with them. We won Calistoga. That was really cool when the Bradway was good. So, yeah, a lot of good races and good times, and we hung together for quite a while there, and with Morrie and Katie and Ashley and Sean and White Doug and Mongoose and everybody that was a part of it. just a good group of people. Like again, I was real fortunate to be a part of it.
Well, and for you, what were some of, I mean, obviously there was success on the racetrack, but for you, was there any special memories off the racetrack or in the shop with Morrie specifically or the team specifically?
I mean, we had a lot of fun together. I mean, anything we really did, whether we were going to a banquet or my family and I were just up in Oakhurst for the weekend and went to dinner with everybody or crab feeds up there. But I remember in 2000, I think 8 or something, I'd won in my own car at Calistoga, and Calistoga. I mean, to people on the West Coast, I don't know how everybody views it, but winning there was big and it was special. You know, not a lot of people got the opportunity to do that, and man, we drank all night. We were out in the parking lot, I think at sunup, and Morrie was driving by. And I heard the story, you know, after I had been hired there from Shiggy that worked on the car. And Shiggy was in the truck with Morrie, and he looked over at us out there drinking 5 or 6 in the morning, whatever it was. And he looked at Sean and said, "That kid will never drive my car." And then, you know, then I was there for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. So, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't pick one, you know, good story. I think they were all good. And it was, I miss being a part of it and miss all them people. Really, really good family to be a part of and great people to race with.
Well, that team had so much success and still is still a potent team when they roll up in the pit area. And to win a NARC championship, that's a big deal. And you did so in 2017. Do you happen to recall kind of like just the first reaction that you had once you saw your car owners when you guys had finally accomplished this huge feat?
Yeah, I think we all kind of looked at each other and said, finally, we weren't second. So, you know, it was something that, you know, drove me there, you know, to win my first NARC title was something that, you know, we talked about goals when I got hired and you know, the part that took us 3 or 4 years there to get it is it's a tough part. You know, we gave a lot of them away with part failures or just me, you know, messing up on the track, doing something dumb, taking us out of contention during the season. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been that long ago, but I remember I don't think anybody had more fun getting second than we did for all them years. That's for sure. And when we finally won it, we definitely we stepped it up a notch.
Well, and I get the theme, talking to some of the other drivers that had been in the car, that Morrie specifically, he wasn't this stern taskmaster that demanded performance. It seemed like the most important thing is that everybody was enjoying their time together. Of course, you're there for business, but also you want to make sure that you're having fun in the process and not making this a job in the sense of that everyone's miserable.
No, I mean, the expectations were never, you know, forced on you or, you know, it was never like you need to get out there and win. Obviously, that's why we were there. But, you know, when we didn't win, you know, it was always good, you know, with Morrie, whether, you know, when I first started there to the last race I went to with him, you know, his health had changed quite a bit. But, man, he was still sharp as a tack. You know, Katie always had him up in the grandstands watching the car and would bring him down after the races. And I mean, shit, he's pretty spot on to what he was seeing with the car to what we were doing, right and wrong, still all the time. It was always good to hear, you know, his input, you know, whether, you know, was what we used or not. His input was still always, you know, taken heavily and applied as much as we could to make ourselves better with it.
Well, and something that was iconic as well with the team was, you mentioned him a lot, Ashley Smith, who is a whiz behind the wrenches. And yes, you know, there's been great drivers in the car, including yourself. Ashley Smith, I think, it seem like he made your job when it came to driving a lot easier. He was great to communicate with and bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, we actually, we only got to work together for a year with Ashley, and we just started running pretty good there in the middle of the year, and then he bailed out on me and went to run the trash company, and then that's when Sean Greeley had been there for several years prior. Then we moved him up to the crew chief when Ashley stepped away, and then he would just kind of dabble in and out of the racetrack, but he pretty much was just kind of stood off and let us do our thing. He'd give us some input when we got lost, but for the most part, I only got to work with Ashley for a year. But it seemed like if we were struggling, he'd come around to help us come out of the struggle. He always, helped us make the right decisions, get us going in the right direction.
Well, and something that's also been said too is Morrie, I think, was described as like a steamroller when it came to driving the transport. It didn't matter how far the next race was or where it was. He was able to get the team there and get them there safely. Did you experience anything like that with when you were over at that operation?
Yeah, unfortunately, Morrie's health didn't allow him really to drive the truck at all. When I got there, he would ride in it a bit, but I remember those days being at the track, racing against Morrie. And, he was always the guy in the truck in the white, coveralls. If there was a problem with the truck, the trailer, or the car, he had them white coveralls on all the time. And Greasy started off clean 99% of the time, but I always left with grease and dirt on him. And, he was very hands-on to everything. He was a doer and a go-getter. He made it happen. Whatever the problem was or whatever it took, he always seemed to make it happen, whether, it was when I was there racing for them or before. I always had a lot of respect for him for that. And, a lot of people from the outside, what they see in an operation is a lot different than when you get inside of it and you see how the day-to-day and how it all works. And, they definitely stretch their dollar there, and it's actually very cool to see and be a part of a lot of the things that we do, see them do and how they do it. A lot of teams operate differently, and I was kind of always that way, where it wasn't just go get new radius rods or new rod ends or new stuff. You made the best out of what you had, or tried to fix it and straighten it and that kind of stuff. So. It was cool. Really, again, you're just a great team to be a part of, great people. The sport definitely lost a, great ambassador of, car owner standpoint and driver at one point. Morrie raced with my grandfather back in the 70s. And, he definitely, since he's been gone, definitely been missed daily and weekly at the track.
Well, and no doubt that last win that you achieved with them, that's got to rank up as one of your top tier wins in your career, I'm sure.
Oh, it definitely meant a lot to me, knowing that, he was at home watching that night, and there was a lot of drama that went into the evening with me getting from Watsonville to the track, and a helicopter and all this other stuff that went on. And then, to pull off the win of the race and I don't know, it was just really cool. And then, losing them not too long after, I guess they say there's a plan for everybody or for something. So I guess that was the plan that night. So, it was a very special one to me, and it means a lot.
That's a really cool story. Wow. And then no doubt that, having to get to the track through a helicopter, didn't sound like that was a part of the plan originally.
Well, it was. We were racing for the championship at Watsonville at the same time, and to get show-up points there, you had to wheel pack. So we wheel packed, and then, it was only like $600 to fly in a helicopter from Watsonville to Stockton. So,
okay.
Sponsor of ours is like, well, if we don't do it, we don't have a shot at winning the championship at Watsonville, and so. And, whatever, it wasn't a big deal, but it was a thing we were racing. We just lost Billy Albini earlier that year and started racing my dad's car a little bit. So, to win, if we we ended up losing the championship by like 2 points or something. Got crashed on the final night. But, if we weren't there, and got our show at points and then helicoptered over to Stockton that night, we wouldn't even have an opportunity to win that, the championship that year. And then for all the drama and to fly in a helicopter was pretty cool. And then the guy buzzing the track in a helicopter after we had won was, I don't know, it was really cool night. And we said a lot of drama built up to the evening. And then, to be my last one with those guys, meant a lot to me.
Any stories or any cool memories that you want to share that I didn't ask or anything like that before I let you go?
I mean, my favorite part of being there was just them, making us all feel like family, my family, and the way that they treated us, and Katie still is with me and my wife and my daughter and everybody, and they're great people. And I'm glad Katie's still involved, and maybe at some point I'll drive for her again. But at this point, I'm just very glad to see when she's back at the track.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. That's the theme that I get is once you've been in the Zero car, you're kind of family forever, which is so cool because things happen. The numbers change, the seats go into different cars, but at the end of the day, it's so cool that there's. Amicable is not the proper term. There's just love for anyone that's had an opportunity to be a part of that operation, whether it be wrenching on the car or driving the car. You are treated, it's like a lifetime pass to be a part of the Williams family.
Yeah, that's the truth, for sure.
Well, Bud, we really appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing you compete at the Morrie Williams Memorial.
All right. Sounds good, Ben.
Well, that is going to do it for this interview. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe button on whatever platform you found this interview at. It really helps us grow the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, we'll be back with more content and interviews in the future. Be sure and have a great evening or a great rest of your day, whatever time you're listening.